Hi! Thanks again for tuning in to Sim's Workshop here on YouTube. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I've had the same headache for 4 days now. It's kind of just like a soft throbbing in the back here at the moment, but yesterday was really bad. So if I'm not my normal self today, you know why. All right, so let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso. All right, so I discovered that this novel takes place in the same world as her previous series. I haven't read that series. And the whole reason I'm saying this is because usually when you get a book and you're like, oh my God, it's part of this world, you feel like you have to read those other books. I want to read them because I liked this one very much. But you don't have to read it to understand this novel. And that's what I want to highlight about Caruso's writing. She's very good at... Oh man, I left my coffee all the way over there. I don't know what you're thinking. Probably dehydration causing the headache, but no. I got it. Oh my God, if it spills, I'm gonna be so sad. Nope, got it. Ha, success. Like I was saying, I'm highlighting this because, like I said, when you discover a novel as part of the author's previous kind of trilogy and world, you feel compelled, like, oh my God, there's always that nervousness in the back of your head thinking, am I going to understand what's happening in this novel? You are. Because this novel takes place 150 years later. The events of that original trilogy, to me, don't seem that important to the story now. She summarizes and includes the important parts in her story development, so she gives you an idea. It's like she's not rebuilding her world, because she doesn't have to. But she's laying down a really strong foundation to give you some history of this world. And it's not all at once. It's, scattered throughout. That shows really strong writing. I love it when a story is able to trickle in history throughout a novel without dragging out the plot line, without dragging down the story, without slowing down the pace. Sometimes writers tend to get a little overzealous with their history inclusion and start just dragging out the story and plot and including inconsequential historic bits of their world. I understand that from a writer's standpoint. You are kind of energized by this world that you're building, so you kind of want to keep building it up. I think some authors lose focus of the narrative, though, when they do that. And I think it takes a really good editor as well to sort of catch it and be like, is this piece really important? And Caruso kind of works as her own editor here, because I haven't read her previous series. Have no idea what they're about at all. So, but I was still able to enjoy this novel because Caruso is not just a talented writer, she is a talented editor. She takes bits of histories of this world she's already built before in order to lay down a really strong foundation for this world, so the reader can orient themselves in the story and understand how this world functions. Why are these countries at war? Why don't they like each other? Why is there such tension and political upheaval between them? She's able to ground the reader in all those details without losing sight of her overall plot. And I have to applaud her for that. I thought it was very well executed. I thought it was very well done. And I really do have to say, this was a very well done novel. Now, what I'd also like to go on to talk about is the main character. I think Rix is great. I love her. in the beginning I was kind of unsure about, I guess, the character's gender. I think when I first read it, the name Rick sounded masculine. So without there being like any strong detail in that really first page, I thought of Rick as a male character, and I was just like, but even I was questioning that. I'm like, wait, is Rick male or is Rick female? I know that you're kind of saying, well, why is that important? It's important to me so that I can so I can imagine the character. Basically, that's the only reason why it's important. I like to be able to visualize the character. We get into the visualizations in the next couple of pages, so I like that. I just think the tone could have been a little more clear regarding Rick's gender. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something. Who knows? Maybe there was a detail I missed. It's very easy to do that. You know, when you're reading, you tend to sometimes miss details. But I think the tone and the narrative could have been a little bit more clear as to how the reader should read this character as well. Should I read it as male, female, or even should I just read it as non-binary? You know, I like to kind of orient myself as a reader so that I can visualize this character, you know, down to their cheekbones, you know, their details and everything. But, you know, Caruso really does a good job later on describing Rick's to the point where every facepalm moment, every sigh, every eye roll, you can perfectly imagine it. And it's great because Rick has so much to deal with. She has so much to deal with. She has to deal with a missing grandmother. She has to deal with sort of calming this political upheaval. She has to deal with an accidental death, which is angering one of the, you know, which is angered the lord of one of the countries she's trying to like calm down, and she has to deal with this magical obsidian slab that is the gateway to the 9 hells and the literal 9 demons. You know, she has so much she has to contend with, and it's like really stressful for her, but I have to say she handles it very gracefully. I mean, she's just kind of amazing. And I love being able to see her. You know, I love how vibrant her personality becomes, how every sigh and eye roll and even face palm moment where she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to deal with this now. She is brought to life. Basically, you know, this is someone I can definitely imagine. I could picture them sitting on this sofa right here with their long hair tied in a braid, because that's how she likes to wear it. I think it's really great that Caruso spent the time to bring her to life, you know, personality-wise, description-wise, tone-wise, narrative-wise. You know, it makes me eager to read more of her, because she's such an introverted character, but she has such a strong voice, and she's introverted because her magic works differently than others. The magic in this world, you know, the witch lords, their magic governs life. It sort of brings to life. It brings life, basically. You know, it's never taken life. It can be used to take life, obviously, but Rick's magic is broken. Everything she touches dies instantly. That's kind of unheard of, and it really makes her different. It makes her very alone, and when she opens herself up to the possibility of friendship and making friends, you know, it opens up a lot about her personality, and I think that's really cool about her, that she grows fundamentally from the beginning to the end, while she's dealing with upheaval after upheaval after upheaval, you know, and I really think that's really cool about this novel. I think Rick's is really cool. Now, this idea of the witch lords, you know, it's a common fantasy trope. If you have magic, you're generally the one with the power. You know, it really goes in line with, if you have power, you're the one in power. You know, it's not far-fetched. It's that classic trope, of course. But what's interesting here is that the other kingdom that Rix is trying to broker peace with, their leader doesn't have magic. And I think that's really cool, you know. And I think it's very interesting to see how non-magic and magic people in power sort of differentiate with one another and are also able to come to terms with one another. You know, there's really a lot that happens in this novel. And I don't want to go into detail because I want to ruin it, but there are a lot of plot twists to it. There's a lot of tension, and I like this idea that there are exactly 9 demons. You know, demons in fantasy, not completely unique, but the idea that there are sort of 9 demons, just 9, and that can coexist, possessing a body. I think it's really cool. Especially the Demon of Discord. You're going to see a lot of the Demon of Discord, and the whole reason I like the Demon of Discord, I think, is because I really love Eris. She's the Greek goddess of discord. You know, she's the one who started the Trojan War by throwing a golden apple into the party she was not invited to. Yeah, you really don't want to mess with the higher beings whose calling is to create discord. I feel like that's a stupid thing to do. So I think that's a reason why I like this Demon of Discord, because it is very reminiscent of Eris in Greek mythology, and I really love that sort of idea. If you're familiar with Greek mythology, you'll know who Eris is. She's, you know, the goddess of discord. She's got an attitude on her. And I'm not just talking about from, you know, the Legend of Hercules TV show with Kevin Sorbo. She's a pretty cool character in Greek mythology, and I think, in my opinion, I feel like that's where Caruso kind of drew her inspiration from. You know, from this Greek goddess of discord, this overpowered goddess that I think not a lot of people are familiar with, and she turned her into this really cool, spunky demon who is, at the end of the day, she does care for other people, you know, like Rick. She actually does generally care for Rick, so I think it's really interesting to see this emotional toll on this character, this caring effect on this character. And, you know, you generally, when you think demon, you don't think, oh, demons are caring. No, you don't really think that at all. But to see this demon be a caring and somewhat remorseful person was really cool. I thought it was interesting at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, you know, I will have to give the Obsidian Tower, I guess, 4 stars. Initially, when I first read it, I gave it 3 stars, and then when I wrote my review, you know, I upped it to 3.5. And now that I'm talking about it, I realized, you know, I really did enjoy this novel more than I thought I did. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Obsidian Tower 4 stars. I will include a link to purchase the book on bookshop.org. I highly recommend purchasing the book on bookshop.org. Because a percentage of all those proceeds do go to supporting local bookstores, and I'm all about supporting local bookstores. There will also be links to follow me on social media. If you can't purchase this book, because I know for a lot of us money is very tight right now, go ahead and check out your book from your local library. Libraries are a great resource for the community and definitely deserve our support. And please don't forget to support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading!